All right, everybody. Well, welcome to our Tuesday night Trailblazer team call. The first Tuesday of every month, we get together as a smaller team, and I'm so excited for tonight's call. I'm so excited for tonight's call. Tonight's call is going to have two components to it. We're going to have a little bit of training from people who are out there doing the do, as I say. And I'm so excited for you guys to hear from these incredible women. And then I'm going to talk about our contest. So you want to stick around for that. I'm very excited about that. But the reason why I wanted to feature these women is because I'm a huge fan. I think my favorite word as it relates to success is consistency. Because you know what, you guys, consistency wins. And you can run a marathon once and then never run again, but you're not going to be a good runner. But if you run a little bit every day, jog, speed walk every day, putting one foot in front of the other, you're going to eventually be a great runner if that's what you want to do. And I just know this from all areas of life, from healthy eating to fitness to, business and doing Juice Plus. Consistency always wins. And Cheryl Cortese, who is truly, the queen of our business, she's one of the most successful women in all of network marketing. I've heard her say this before at trainings. You never want to put your momentum down once you have it. And so the three women that I've invited to come on tonight, they have momentum in their business. They are consistent with doing the right activities in terms of showing up, getting out of their comfort zones, and plugging in. And I hope you guys had a chance to see Holly Morris's training last week. She talked about a lot of great things. It was an excellent call. And she said, you want to keep your feet close to the fire, because when you take your feet away from the fire goes out. And these three women have consistently kept their feet to the fire. And that is the reason why they have a qualified business, why they, and that qualified business, we really look at them as the milestone of success in our business. And I heard Catherine Lee say, it was truly one of the first Juice Plus little in-home VF workshops that I had gone to. She lived in San Clemente. It was like 4 houses ago. And I'll never forget it. She said, if you can build a qualified business, you can reach national marketing director within the Juice Plus company. And I took that to heart because I had just qualified my business and I was like, okay, I could do it. So we talk a lot about the qualified business as being that pivotal point, and it really is. So I want to turn it over and introduce to you guys I think we have 3 gals on tonight. I'm going to start with you, Joni, because I'm looking at you. So I met Joni. She was a dance mom that I met, for those of you guys who don't know the story, years ago when our daughters first started dancing together. She's a beautiful daughter who's the same age as Sophie, senior in high school. And they started dancing together. They were both brand new when they were 10 years old. And I met Joni then. Our story has evolved over time. And I have to say, I get emotional when I talk about Joni and the personal growth that I've seen this woman go through, and just how incredibly proud I am of her. Because for some people like me, it isn't hard for me to talk to people. It just isn't. I love people. It's easy. I can talk, blah, 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 blah. And some people, it's more of a challenge. And so for people for whom this business has, some real challenges in terms of really doing the basic stuff, I just have so much admiration and respect and just total pride in them showing up every day. So Joni, I'm going to turn it over to you first, and have you just share like 5 or 6 minutes of how you have built a qualified business and what is working for you. So take it away, my friend.
Well, as you guys know, the last time I spoke, did something like this for Lisa, I thought I was going to pass out. I had practiced all day, made notes, thought I'd set my notes over there. I couldn't read them without looking. But now I was so busy today doing all my steps that I'm supposed to be doing that I kind of just thought of what I was going to say. So hopefully I'll get through this for you guys, not talk too long, because I really do love to talk to people and I love people. It's just like, as Ray says, as soon as I have to bring up my Juice Plus, then I freeze. So that's my thing that I'm overcoming. But persistence, I just, yeah, I'm not like, I know Lisa has her method of doing something the same every day, and persistence I am, and consistent I am. But I might start with my personal business, my home family business in the morning, and then do my stuff in the evening. So I don't have a set thing that I do, which maybe I should, I don't know, but just sometimes I just get this urge and I'll be texting all night and then send everything in the morning or something. So I'm trying to get on a good rhythm of that, but I do stuff every day, and I won't let a day go by without, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys that, I live and breathe for my rank maker calls every day. I guess I'm allowed to tell you guys that. That's what's helped me so much.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, again, I've grown so much, and, my mentors, I always, graciously say Lisa, and then of course, Ray Higdon has just done so much for me, as I know a lot of you on the call here also. And, so I try to start every day with Ray. I'm in the 14-day challenge, and I have learned so much in, I don't know, 5 days or whatever, just on that. And I haven't gone on every day and done the lives, but I'm not beating myself down on that, because I do get on and I learn, and, I might be 3 days late on something, or it might take me a while to do it, but I do it, and because I have to grow. And it's made me, like I said, I would freeze just to get on here and have to talk to you guys. So, by doing this, the live stuff, I didn't even know how to turn on live. Honestly, I didn't even know where it was. So, this whole technology thing is new to me. So, getting on there, I literally thought I was going to pass out when I pushed start. So I did it, and I was so proud of myself afterwards, and it felt so good. And I got the past couple that I've done, I've gotten so many private and personal messages on that. One of my little nieces got on and said, I'm so proud to be a family member, or I'm so honored to be a family member with you, or something like that. Keep doing whatever you're doing. And I've had other people that I try to contact all the time, and I send them little love messages every once in a while, and they ghost me or whatever on my Juice Plus. But they recently said, I'm so glad you're doing your Juice Plus thing, because it's really helped you a lot. So whatever, they're looking at me, even though they're not responding to me. So that's been consistency. Of course, we all know it's been personal development more than anything for me. And let's see, I'm trying to hurry here for you. So yeah, I told you about being scared to death of Facebook. And my biggest thing, I think, that has made me move forward, because I was just such in a stump. One was a call we had the other day about having positive words. And I know most of you heard that call from Ray, and just, because I'm horrible at it, saying I'm overwhelmed, I'm all those other bad words. And now I'm just thinking, yeah, I'm really busy today, but if I talk about it, it's just going to take too much time. So I need to make my list and get going here. And then the other thing is not being married to the outcome. I mean, that is I was so afraid to speak to people, because I didn't want them to, not that I cared that they didn't like me, like a junior high thing, but just, like, what are you doing, Joni? This is weird. This is not you. So I was so afraid of all that. And now it's like, what am I afraid of? Trying to help them financially, or, with their family's health or whatever. I mean, I can't be afraid of that. And if they don't like that, then they can just tell me no, and that's okay. And I've had a lot of people that have done that. And then I just, especially like today's call with Ray saying, just call and say hi to people. This was the best activity he's given us yet, because I loved that. I just texted so many people today or Facebook Messenger and just said, hey, how's it going? And then, like, I think Irene got on earlier and said how, it's just gotten her close to people. People said, hey, I've seen what you've been doing. How are you doing? You look great or whatever. So anyway, but I just want to say slowly but surely, Lisa gives me a lot of props, but slowly but surely, and, Ray, I have up on my bulletin board, Ray Hagden said, until and despite, and that is totally me. Until, I'm never going to stop, but despite anything, I am just going to keep going. And you guys might have to wheel me in a wheelchair across that stage, but I'm going to be walking on it. So anyway.
Oh my gosh. We all get emotional even thinking about that, Joni. Me especially. Oh my gosh. You are so awesome. I wrote down touch your business every day, persistence, listen to mentors, positive words, and not being attached to the outcome. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Joni. You've grown so much. So now I'm going to turn it over to beautiful Chris Ann, who is in New York, who is in Danielle's team and Melissa's team. And I just adore you, Chris Ann. And I am so grateful that we've had more time together, especially in the last 6 days, as we've been putting ourselves out there together. And you two have set such a great example of just showing up, and you've had so much life happen since you have been involved with Plus, Chris Ann, and you have not let that stop you. I mean, you just, you pick yourself up. Of course, you've had real life human experiences and you've honored those, and you've prioritized your family where you've needed to. And yet you've continued to go out there and be a light to people in the world. So will you share for a couple minutes what you've been up to and what works for you? That would be so awesome.
Sure. And thank you for asking me to talk tonight. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
What you just said about my family stuff is actually on my little notes here, because that is actually was like the last thing I was going to say, but I'll just say it now just because we're talking about it. But that was really like one of the huge things for me, that I truly never disconnected from my business, nor did I disconnect from the team, because no matter what you're going through, and since I started really putting my Juice Plus business in motion, I've lost my stepson, who was 35, 2.5 years ago. My son, Jake, who was 11 last year, went through major urgent spinal cord surgery. And then I just lost my dad this past February. So there are major family things going on. And that's where I felt I needed my business to just keep me focused. It really took me away from what was going on. And I really did focus, and I would, we could do our business from anywhere. So I was doing, even if it wasn't a lot, I just did a little bit. And when I felt I needed to, and I leaned on my team. I mean, Melissa and Danielle were there for me. And not only is this like a business, but we have a family, and that's what we're here for each other for. So that was just priceless. But that was one thing. I never fully disconnected, even though there was stuff going on, even it was summertime, I didn't disconnect. We went on vacation and whatever, but I didn't want to disconnect, because I felt if I did, you kind of get into like that little habit of staying disconnected. So, that was one of my things. I think one of the main things for me is that I and we all do, we so love what we do. I am so passionate about what I'm doing now. And I said it in my live video just before the call that, at this stage in my life, I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that I am actually doing something like this at this time in my life, where my kids are older and, we've gone through everything. So, I love on my customers. Consistency, yes, is key. And, when you say to a customer, I'll check in with you, you need to check in with them. Like, don't be loosey-goosey, because then it makes you look like you really don't care. So whether it's writing a note or putting an alarm in your phone, I always would make sure I would check in with them. And I don't feel like what I'm doing is work at all. So that's just a big part of it. The other thing I have here is go to events. Have events too, but go to them. And support even sideline teams. And I mean, Danielle and I just drove down to Long Island, which is not that far from here, but it literally took me 3 hours last Thursday night to drive to Long Island for an event that was an hour and a half. And it was so worth it because I supported Stacy, who was doing it. I got to meet new people. You're always networking and meeting new people, even in the company. And I didn't have anybody go with me, but invite your friends too. Invite people. Always invite somebody. And the other thing was that Karen Jones was doing this event, and I felt I needed to get myself in front of Karen. And I did. I talked to her personally, and that was like a huge, check on my list that I needed to do. So it was a great night. And going to events is one thing, but going to conference is another thing. Never miss conference if you can't. I mean, I missed one last October because my son had just come out of the hospital, and I was so upset that I had to miss it. But I see definitely the growth after, because you get so motivated and so inspired that those events, those conferences, being with everybody, they're really important. And I've seen that now over the years, how important they are to be there and just to learn. And actually, when you do start to learn and you plug into these calls that we have available to us, or team calls, you gain confidence because you're learning so much. And when you have confidence, then you have posture, and it makes it easier for you to share with people. You're not as nervous anymore. And the thing too with conference, I have written here, it solidifies your belief in our mission in our company. It really does. It makes you say like, wow, what I am doing is really something very important, and this company is amazing. And I know what I'm doing. I'm doing the right thing in my life. So, and one more thing, consistency, social media. I know we're all learning this Facebook Live thing, which is big, huge, because I'm not one of those people, but now I'm becoming one with this challenge. But just posting, and I see it with other friends of mine that do other types of marketing company stuff, and they are so inconsistent that it almost makes you not like believe what they're doing, that they have any trust in it's just weird. If you're just consistent, even if it's just a picture, if you can do it every day, great, every other day, but don't like be gone for weeks and then all of a sudden you show up again. Because I think when I see that, I'm like, maybe they're not that serious what they're doing. So that was another thing that I have written here. And I think that's it.
Chris-Ann, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I wrote down, never disconnect, lean on your upline support, especially when you really, really need to. Do what you say you're going to do. Love on your customers. Go to events, go to conference, and be consistent. Even with social media, it is a huge tool for us now. It wasn't when I started my business 15 years ago, but man, oh man, things have changed, and it is such a huge opportunity for us. So Chris-Ann, you are a doll. I just adore you. Thank you so much. I know it's late at night for you guys back east. So our final speaker, and I think she's here, Elisa, who is coming in from, there you are, I see you. So Elisa is in Caprice Crebar's team. She's direct to Caprice. And I knew Elisa too when she lived in Southern California. Her life is in a very different place now. And yet, again, despite the miles, despite the years, Elisa has been really consistent and recently started qualifying her business. She was in Tampa with us. And Elisa, I would just love for you to share what it is that is working for you and what keeps you just showing up. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you.
There you
Hi,
are.
everybody. And you can hear me okay, right? I'm
yeah,
good?
you're totally fine. You're totally fine.
All right. Well, I was kind of honored that you asked me too, Lisa, like Joni mentioned, but I have been doing this for a long time, but it's been very part-time. But what I think it's my love of the product that has kept me going for so long, and I do believe in it so much. There's a core belief that this is the real deal, and I just have to share it with the people I love. And so I've just never given it up, no matter what. Even when I'm not real active with it. And I wrote down the quote that I like is, the only way you fail is if you give up. And so that's kind of been my mantra. I just won't give up. So I've also been through quite a bit. And the company, one of the things that I love, besides the tools that they provide. And so, Chris Ann's already mentioned the events, and lately I've been taking advantage of events. So I went to a local one and met, who did I meet there? Well, Tamara Sachs was there, and I actually wound up sitting next to her. It was so cool. And being able to have a conversation with her during a break and, things like that. And then I went to Philadelphia, which was our regional, and I brought a friend with me to that one. And then I was able to go to Tampa, and that was the first time that I had a team member with me. So I've seen the progression and the growth in my business through those events as well. But that's one of the tools that were provided. And another tool is three-way calls. And I've really been taking Caprice up on that. She has always offered and is amazing. And for me, it's not as well known out here. I mean, a lot of people I talk to about it have never heard of Juice Plus. So for me, even selling the product, it's been helpful because I believe in it, but I could sometimes come across as, well, she's just kind of crazy about it, whatever. But when you have that third-party validation, and Caprice does such a good job with that, I've added customers on because of her support. So that's been really good for me. But I have to say that the biggest thing for me, and I really hesitated to share about it, but I watched Ray Higdon's video this morning about his being able to forgive his dad, and how that made an impact on his business. And so I thought, he said we all have stories to tell. That might not be your story, but that was his, and he had to say it. And so for me, it's that I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I've been working a program of recovery, and in fact tonight just got my 18-month chip for that. So, and I just think, it's, and this is recovery, and it impacts how you show up with your business too. And the fact that I was able to forgive, close that door, and move on has really freed me up to make that final commitment. I've always had the intention that I wanted to do this business, but I never had the freedom to do what I knew I wanted to do for myself. And now I do. And I'm so, so grateful and celebrating that. And I know that everybody goes through something, everybody has some kind of health challenge or some kind of personal challenge that we're dealing with. And if it's only there so that we can help somebody else, it's equipping us to be able to help other people who might find themselves in a similar situation. So, but that's it for me. I love the tools, I love the people, and I love the product, and yeah.
Oh, Lisa, thank you so much for being so vulnerable with all of us tonight. I know you don't know, everyone on this call, and I so appreciate your transparency and your willingness to be vulnerable in this moment. And we're all so honored that you would share. And I'm just so grateful that you have this community, this positive community, here in our team and in the greater Juice Plus family, because it's going to continue to fuel you as you grow and become all that you are meant to be. So I'm just so honored that you're a part of this mission and this journey with us. Okay, I'm going to try not to get emotional. My gosh, I am like I'm usually a rock, but this was a really, really, really awesome call. And I'm so grateful that you ladies shared tonight. So we only have a few minutes left, and it seems a little inappropriate that I would get like all tactical on you guys. But I promised that we would talk a little bit about our next contest. And so Elisa, in addition to all the amazing things that you said, including the only way to fail is to give up, one of my favorite things to say, is you mentioned something that I really want to really encourage this team to focus on as we head towards Sacramento, and that is the three-way call. So I'm going to mix things up a little bit, and the leaders and I had a really awesome call the other day, and Melissa and I have talked about this a few times now, and she's supportive of this as well. In fact, I'm going to quickly, screen share her brilliance in this, because this is not my forte. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to bring this over. I got to get rid of my updates. Can you guys see this pretty flyer that she did? Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So I'm really excited about this, and I'm going to post all this after our call tonight. So don't worry. But one of the things that I think is really missing in our team is three-way calls. And what I want to say about that is that I want to help this team get better at spreading this message through duplicating all of you, all of your passion, all of your brilliance, all of your coachability, all of your willingness to want more for your life and yourself. And the only way to do that is to have more people on this mission with us. And the number one way that I know, other than sharing videos and taking people to events, to help introduce more people to this mission is to do three-way calls. And I think that it's something that we can really get better at as a team. We can fall in love with doing three-way calls, and we can really help impact more people for better health and for more opportunities to be a part of what is so, so special. So starting this month, every time you do a three-way call, you're going to have a tracker. Caprice did a brilliant tracker in Google Docs that I will also post tonight, so that it's really easy for you guys to track. It is going to be your responsibility to track your three-way calls. I realize that for a lot of you, I'm your first upline national marketing director, so I know I'll be doing a lot of calls with all of you. But if you are doing a call with a sideline person, or if you're a Melissa's team, obviously you guys will be a part of calls that we don't know about, and that's totally cool. You can just track the calls as you go. But when you do 5 three-way calls a month, and a three-way call is you and another person, preferably on Zoom. I know I'm using the word call, but preferably on Zoom is how I'm doing all of our calls now. So obviously the welcome call, that's a really traditional call I do. I welcome most people into this team through a three-way conversation. But doing three-way calls with customers to, listen to them and hear about their happy experiences. Maybe you've got some raving fans. Maybe you've got lots of happy shredders that need to be, we want them to share their stories with more people. So we can set up three-way calls with them, and we can ask them, have you ever considered sharing your incredible story with other people? It can be with a rep, an existing rep, not like, I'm going to do a three-way call with Nikki and Joni, because Joni's motivated and Joni's a working rep, but maybe someone who, you sponsored into this business a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they really never did anything with their business. And yet they're seeing your posts, they're seeing all your videos, they're re-inspired, and they want to maybe jump in. So that would count as a three-way call as well. So if you do 5 of those in a month, in a business month, you're going to earn $50. If you do 10 or more, it's going to double, and you're going to go to $100. Okay, so let's bring on the three-way calls. In December only, I'm going to jump down to the bottom. In December only, I want to do something even more special. So you are going to earn $50 when you sign up 5 new Shred customers in 5 different households. Okay, so if it's a brand new shredder that has never shred before, that counts. If it's the husband of the wife that's been shredding for a year, that doesn't count. And a shred order, and I'll put this all out so you guys can see. A shred order in our definition is the trio and one box of complete at the same time. Okay, so that's a shred order. So you're going to earn $50 when you sign up 5 shred customers in the month of December. And this shouldn't be too hard, you guys, because shredding in January is kind of a no-brainer, right? Like January, it's all about January. So even if they're getting their orders in the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, they've gotten through Christmas and they already are like, I need to shred. That's going to count. The other way to earn that $50 $25 is when you sign up 5 new Omega customers. They can be, existing customers, but never have been on Omegas. I really want to help you guys bump up, get your businesses qualified, customer qualified, and everyone needs to be on the Omegas. And I know I still have like half of my customer base is not on the Omegas. Okay, so we want to help people really get educated about why our Omegas are so out of this world incredible. So when you sign up, if you help 5 people in the month of December, you're going to earn $25. This money in the month of December, I hope you guys like this idea. If you're like, Lisa, please give me the money, that's totally fine, I will. But this money, we would like to donate to your charity of choice in the month of December. Okay, so whatever charity it is, and $50 or $25. So we thought that would be something kind of cool to give back in the month of December. And we're all contributing and doing more in the month of December regardless. So then the last part, which is in the middle here, is when you sign up 2 new frontline team members in 1 month, you help 2 people say yes to this mission in this business. They have at least 2 orders under them. 2. And you guys, right now with the Healthy Living Plan bonus incentives for us, I hope you guys are signing up HLPs like crazy, but they have to at least have 2 orders under them. You're going to get some swag. So it could look like a rank maker journal for those of you rank makers who are obsessed with the swag. It could look like a couple of shaker bottles, or I really thought these were cool at conference. I still have one to give away. I thought these were super cool because they're smaller. They like fit in your purse and they're cool. So bring it on. So that is our contest. And again, I want to thank Melissa for this beautiful flyer, which will get posted on Trailblazers. And I want to thank Caprice for the incredible Google tracking mechanism. I will remind you guys, and I will celebrate everyone who's doing this. We are going to have a celebration component to this on the Trailblazer Facebook page, but it is up to you guys to track your activity. So track your activity. The best way to get in touch with me on scheduling 3-way calls is just to Vox me. I'm highly responsive, as most of you guys know. And other than going away a few days after Christmas, skiing with my family, which Kristen Finley and I are planning a meetup to go prospect people in McCall, Idaho. I will be home and available. So I hope you guys are excited about that. Does anybody have any questions real quick as we wrap up? I know we've gone a few minutes over, but I wanted to get through that with you guys tonight.
I have one quick question. You said just Vox, I know you have a scheduling app or something.
You know what? I took that down. It was getting to be too cumbersome for me to manage. And it's just easier for me, and I am accountable to it. And unless it gets crazy and I feel like I need to change it up again, which I don't, I think it'll be okay. So you guys know, like those of you guys who work with me a lot, I work out in the early morning. I usually get rolling around 10. Some days are different if I have a coffee that I'm doing with somebody or whatever, but just get to me early. And then, I'll always make time. Always, always, always make time. All right, everybody. Well, thank you again so much. This was an awesome call. Joni, Chris Ann, Elisa, love and appreciate you guys so very much. All right.
Awesome.
And